For us car people, there's always a catalyst in what got us into cars. And for me, that was always my dad. We were always growing up going to car shows together. I have countless photos that I've just been going through just in the time of producing this video of the memories of going to car shows with my dad. And there was one thing I always wanted to do, and that was to bring something back that he was always proud of, and a brand that he respected more than any other car brand, and a type of car that I knew would absolutely make him proud. So this is a tribute to my dad, and for all the work I've done, welcome to Chapter 2.
Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly, and I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. Get me out of now, to where we started out. La 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 la, oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts.
What's up, guys? So if you're seeing this video, I've done a thing, and the end of the Sport Tracks time has come. After 6 long years of service with me and the memories it's created and the not so good memories it's created, the time has come for it to meet its successor and for it to be passed on to the next person in line. It is a very bittersweet thing. There's so much good coming out of this, but so much also sadness, as the truck's departure is rather painful, say the least, despite the fact that I've, lost a lot of the feelings I had for it over the last 2 years. It is still sad for it to go, as it was my first car, and I made so many memories in that. But what I'm doing today will be something that is going to change things for the better. So let's talk about the purpose of today's video. You've already seen it. You've seen the cinematic at the beginning of the video. I have purchased a Mark 7 GTI. And while it may not have been the original spec that I wanted a white SE model, so the leather seats, the sunroof, the better headlights, and I originally wanted to do an all-white build. This car fell into my lap, and it was just perfect, right? Outside of the fact it wasn't an SE trim, this is an S trim, so it is as base as it gets with the GTI. I'm still excited for it because this is one of my dream daily drivers. Of course, it's no Golf R, which was the #1 car I wanted in terms of a dream daily, but this is so close to it, it might as well be one. I test drove this car the other night, as you guys might have seen on my Instagram or TikTok pages. If you guys don't follow me in either of those, you should do that, behind the scenes updates. If you follow me in either of those, you've seen this car already. I already posted about it, probably. But in terms of the YouTube side, obviously you guys are kind of be the last to see it because I have to make this whole vlog and all that crap. But we've got a crazy, 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 crazy day ahead of us, and it's going to be one heck of an adventure. So let's talk about the story behind this Mark 7 GTI, where it came from, how it came to be, and we'll go into the final day with the truck and the beginning of an era with the GTI, Chapter 2. So Let's talk about this. So I went to Jim Ellis Volkswagen in Kennesaw, Georgia. These guys are absolutely fantastic. And Andrew, my salesperson, was so attentive and so helpful as a first-time buyer. I had so many questions. And this guy sat down with me and answered every single one, not even certain he was going to be getting a sale off of this. He wasted 2 hours of his life with me that night talking over numbers that were theoretical. So the fact that he was so willing to do that, I am very thankful for. So Andrew, if you find this channel, if you find this video, thank you so much for how attentive and helpful you were during this process for me. Doing something that I've never done before without my parents really even either. Usually for bigger purchases, I consult my parents quite a bit. And in this instance, I barely did. It's a huge thing. So thank you, Andrew, if you're watching this video, and thank you, Jim Ellis Volkswagen, for the painless experience that this purchase had. So I went to Jim Ellis originally to order a Mark 8 GTI. My goal was to see about numbers and try to get a Mark 8 GTI on the way to hopefully be delivered in March. Unfortunately, that was not possible. The car was going to be delivered in June or July. And I said, well, I kind of need a car pretty soon. I was shooting to be searching in March, and I made that pretty clear that my original intention was to search for cars in March. So that brings us to what happened. So they were like, well, we do have some Mark 7s if you want to try them out. There's no strings attached or anything, no even need to really feel like you have to buy these cars. It's pretty much not verbatim what I was told, but what pretty much was relayed to me, at least through, you know, the wording that was used and all that. So I was like, sure, why not? I don't mind taking a look. And so they pulled up a black Mark 7 GTI S, which is what you guys have seen, which is the car that I've purchased. I went and sat down in it. I was checking out all the interior stuff, and I just had to. I was like, can I take this on a test drive? Sure, no problem. Scanned my license, as most dealerships do. Sent me on my way. And, yeah, I fell in love with the car. I drove it pretty cautiously. I'm very weird about cars not being mine, especially having a salesperson with me. I was not going to push it too hard. In fact, I drove it so carefully, I was thanked by the sales guy. Apparently, a lot of people who come and test drive GTIs, would be that one or other GTIs, beat the brakes off of them during the test drive and then don't buy them. So I'm one of the first people to drive that car and not just torture the thing on the test drive. And so it worked out. We got back, we talked over a theoretical umbrella range of numbers, what the prices could be and all that, at $0 down. And so I went home, I talked about it with my family, and wound up coming to the conclusion that I should try to buy this car. So I was going to wait till Wednesday to talk numbers and to actually make any sort of purchases, but I wound up calling in and doing it technically yesterday now. I'm filming this. It's Wednesday now, as of 4 minutes ago. I called, did the online applications and stuff, all the appropriate paperwork I need to do online, and I got approved for the car. Unfortunately, with that, the truck has to go as a trade-in, and then I have to cough up some money of my own as a down payment on the car. And unfortunately, it's most of what I have in my bank account. So we're going to be living on some ramen for the next couple of weeks and some gift cards, because that's all I've got right now. So yeah, that's kind of our thing. I have purchased my first big boy car, if you will. This is a huge thing. So let's talk over the specs. It's a GTI S 2017 model year. So it is I believe the second to last or the final year of the original Mark 7. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are included, which is fantastic. That's something I thought I was going to have to upgrade myself. The car is a DSG, which is something I absolutely wanted. It's the only reason one of the main reasons I wanted the GTI, as no other hot hatches can offer a dual clutch, let alone an automatic, outside of Lost Strand, which is considerably more expensive than what I was willing to pay. The GTI came out to be right at my budget of $25. So big stuff there, really helpful. The car is base. It's got heated seats. That's a leather steering wheel and all the normal amenities. And that's really about it. There's no sunroof. It doesn't even have push button ignition. It doesn't have remote start or anything like that. It is pretty bare bones for a GTI. Doesn't mean it's crap. The interior is fantastic on this. I thought the Mark 6's interior was great. The Mark 7's is only just better. And I'm really excited for it. So the car looks great. I really enjoyed it. It has 28,000 miles on it. So a 130 mile difference, or not even that, it was a 230,000 mile difference between the Sport Track and the GTI. So anyway, let's get on with the rest of this video as we begin the day of reckoning and the beginning of a brand new era with my Mark 7 GTI. Let's get started, guys. Well, now guys, for the final time, cold start. This is surreal. I am I still don't know how to feel about this yet. It's such a hard thing to do, but it is for the better nonetheless. So one more time, old friend. I'm trying very hard not to be emotional today, guys. This is, it doesn't feel real yet. I mean, it does. This is it. I dreaded yet looked forward to this day for a very long time, and it feels weird now that, we're gonna be saying goodbye. It feels a lot like the death of a family member in some ways. You know, as car people, we become attached to these kind of things. We become attached to our cars and everything they stand for us. The feeling of expression, the driving experience, the ownership experience, and it feels weird. Because I feel like I know what the fate of this will be now. I feel like doing this is a quick way for it to wind up on auction or in a junkyard, and that's the most heartbreaking part about this whole thing, is that this may be one of the last drives it takes, and I think that's what hurts. More than just parting ways with it myself. It's just the fact that this is it, and it could be one of the final drives it ever takes, due to the mileage. It's not worth anything. I'll let it warm up one last time, and we're gonna go drive it, and be careful, of course, but enjoy everything one last time. All right, guys, deal's done. Mark 7 GTI. Like I said earlier several times now, I didn't expect it to happen this suddenly and this fast, but I'm very excited. We got a little bit of a drive ahead of us, so for the final time, go check it out at Jim Ellis Volkswagen here in Kennesaw. They were great with us. They really helped us out, and couldn't be happier. So we're gonna ride on home. It's the start of a new beginning and new build, because we're about to have some fun with this car. All right, I'll catch you guys when we get home. All right, guys, we are back home with the GTI, and it feels so weird to be coming out here and seeing a car that's a quarter of the size of the truck. But let's walk through this thing real quick. So key ignition, no push button start on this one. This is an S trim, so this is the lowest trim of the GTI. I originally wanted an SE because I really wanted the sunroof and push button, but this car, it being the S, does not have that. So I did opt for the DSG transmission versus the stick shift. A lot of people are probably going to hate me for that, but I really needed the automatic so I could have an easier time driving it. Plaid seats, I really like these. I kind of preferred these over the leather, and so I'm kind of happy that that's how this car wound up with. It also still has heated seats, which are the SEs, and also had the leather seats, but I really like these plaid seats. So roomy back seat, which is another plus of this car. Apparently I didn't unlock it all the way. You got really nice roomy back seats as well. The seat is set at my height, and I think you can fit someone pretty well back there. Got the center armrests here. I believe this does have cup holders. It does. So pretty good little spot for any backseat passengers. Rear AC, which is actually functional in this, unlike my Sport Track, which did not feature functional air conditioning. That's because I swapped the center console. One of my favorite party tricks with this car is the trunk release. So instead of having a traditional handle you pull, you push the logo and it opens up the trunk. And so I've got both the truck's plates in here. I got the front plate and the rear plate, the actual registered plate. I got to turn that back in, of course. cargo cover, all that good stuff. No spare tire on GTIs, unfortunately. When you get a normal Golf, you do get that, but with the performance models, you do not. Fuel door, all that good stuff. We've got these wheels, which I'm torn on. Part of me thinks, no, they're pretty all right. Part of me thinks they're not that great, but I do plan on getting wheels for this car anyway. This car is going to be done up, trust me. Do coilovers, we'll do wheels, we'll do front splitters, all that kind of stuff. Cosmetically, it's going to be a quite big departure from the Sport Track. I'm going to shut this a little bit. We'll go ahead and get in here. So this does have the AEA 888 Gen 3 engine. This is the IS20 turbo, all that good stuff. The variable valve timing, which was used to be on Audi cars, the Gen 2 engines, now has made its way onto the Gen 3 engines, which is what this has. We've got Android Auto and all that kind of stuff there. We got heated seats, AC, all that good stuff. I'll go ahead and, you know, we'll crank it. Why not? So, got this really nice graphic here. I'm gonna go ahead and mute this because we were listening to music on the way home. We've got all sorts of cool stuff here. We've got this cool little diagram here. This does have manual lights, not the automatic lights. We got the dimmer switch. We've got all that stuff. I think this turns on the ambient lighting, which I think I remember seeing. I think that might be running off a light sensor. So, I'll turn that back off there. This does also have fog lights, so that's nice. It says pull, but I don't see how to do that. So I got the digital display, which is configurable, so we can go through and well, it's, I think it's this button actually, or not. That's okay. So it's just a configuration thing I still got to do in this car. But yeah, so we got all the other stuff. We've got the dome lights. We've got the top storage, which is probably where I'll put my sunglasses. Which I did not have this in my Sport Track, so this is actually really nice to have. Got the rear view mirror, all that kind of stuff. This is really great. This is a really cool car, guys. I'm really excited. We have the door sills with the nice red trim going down it. No GTI badges or anything. Aluminum pedals, all that good stuff. This car is really nice. Carbon fiber, faux carbon trim everywhere. Got the USB plug for CarPlay and all that stuff. Of course, like I said, it's the, I believe this is the DQ250 DSG, the 6-speed. Could be wrong on that. We have our mode button here, which does normal, sport, and custom driving modes. We have ESC. I believe if I just hold this, it'll fully deactivate ESC. So that's sport. And that way you can activate launch control as well. But yeah, this car's pretty well equipped. Sounds good. She's a rowdy little one. She's a really rowdy little car. I like this thing a lot. So yeah, this is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. Makes 224 horsepower, I believe. 0 to 60s in the low 6s to high 5s. So it is considerably faster than the Sport Track. Sport Track was about 8.8 seconds, 0 to 60. Really nice steering wheel. I really like the steering wheel. Even for a base car, it feels great. Got our sun visors and all that kind of stuff. But that's just a walk around on my new, to me, Mark 7 GTI. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't terribly long, but, well, it kind of was. Lots of stuff to come soon with this car, and I'm really excited for it. I hope you guys are just as happy with this thing as I am. This was a long time in the making. I grinded for quite a while to make this happen, and a huge thanks to Jim Ellis, Volkswagen in Kennesaw, Georgia, for taking good care of us, helping me out. This is my first time doing anything like this. I did this completely on my own. I didn't have any co-signers, anything like that. I went at this completely alone, and Jim Ellis made it happen. So go check those guys out. They are really great people, and yeah, well, all that said, let's welcome the GTI to the channel. While it is sad the Sport Track is gone, we're on to bigger and better things, and this car is going to be the car that changes things for good here, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this build just as much as I will. Parts are probably going to be, you know, coming a little bit later on. This took quite a lot more money than I expected to, so be eating ramen and eating off of gift cards for a minute, but once I get money rolling, we're going to be doing some stuff to this car, trust me. Anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content coming soon on the channel, and I will see you guys next time. Have a great day, guys.